Two-sentence horror stories.
On a camping trip, me and my friends thought it would be fun to go search for the infamous Wendigo said to be hidden in the woods. With a laugh, we returned to camp having had no luck. But I swear I remember only inviting 5 people on this trip, not 6.
As I tucked my daughter into bed, she whispered, "Daddy, there's a monster under my bed." I laughed and reassured her there was no such thing. But as I turned to leave the room, a deep voice replied, "She's right, you know."
As the last surviving crew member of the deep space exploration vessel, I thought I was safe when I finally made it back to Earth. But parasites spread faster than you think.
As the first human to be cryogenically frozen, she woke up to a world she no longer recognized. But it wasn't the unfamiliar surroundings that frightened her. It was the realization that she wasn't alone in her frozen chamber. Mr. Nibbles is the best pet I've ever had since he followed me home from the woods. I'd love to show him to more people, but anyone I do goes missing.
The loud thud that I heard as I entered the old abandoned house sent a chill down my spine. This was nothing, however, compared to the dread I felt as I heard the door lock behind me.
As the group gathered around the Ouija board, they nervously asked, "Is there anyone there?" The planchette moved to spell out yes, and the children rushed to turn on the lights to realize Billy had been moving it with a laugh. Terror dawned on them, however, when one asked, "But who was moving it before Billy got here?"
In the dimly lit attic, the Ouija board sprung to life before the children could even sit down. The planchette simply wrote, "You didn't say goodbye."
As he played Roblox late into the night, he noticed a new player had joined his game with a username he didn't recognize. When he clicked on the player's profile, he saw a picture of himself staring back with the words, "You should have logged off."
As she played Roblox late into the night, she noticed something strange. The characters in the game began speaking to her directly, calling her by name and urging her to join them in a secret world. It wasn't until she took off her headset that she realized the voices were coming from behind her.
My date was elated when I invited her inside at the end of the night. Odd that I never saw her follow me into my bedroom in my mirror, but that's the last thing on my mind. As I lay in my bed, I felt a cold breath on my neck and heard a whisper, "Don't be afraid. I'm here to give you eternal life." It was only when I opened my eyes and saw the blood-soaked fangs that I realized the price of immortality was higher than I ever imagined. When I wished to see my missing brother again, the genie was all too happy to oblige. I was overjoyed as my vision faded to black, but as I felt bones press against my skin and earth fill my mouth, I realized with terror that we would never be apart again.
"I wish to be the happiest person on earth," I exclaimed to the genie. I never grasped until that moment how lonely being the last person on earth would be.
As the group of friends entered the graveyard, they couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. It wasn't until they saw their own names on the gravestones that they realized they wouldn't be leaving anytime soon.
I crawled into bed with my husband and clumsily knocked my phone off the nightstand, lighting the floor with its screen. Imagine my shock as I saw a familiar wedding band around the finger of a hand jutting out from beneath my bed.
My friends are scared to play Bloody Mary later. It's not Mary they should be afraid of.
As the girls settled in for their sleepover, they began telling spooky stories to see who could scare the others the most. But when the closet opened with a creak, they realized that the scariest story might just be the one they were living.
Tommy kicked and screamed as he tried to force the door closed, struggling to keep the monster trapped inside. As the lone candle extinguished behind him, he knew it was no longer contained.
My daughter was the most beautiful bride I'd ever seen, so I decided to keep her that way for all to see.
I hope you enjoyed these.